Good Monday Matters. I hope you had a wonderful Sabbath and are enjoying the start of this new week and all the things that God has in store for you. My name is Mike Courtney, and this is Monday Matters. Every Monday, I take a few minutes and talk about something to make your life happier, healthier, and perhaps a little bit holier. This week is a special week for me. I'm not trying to get accolades or notices or anything, but I have a birthday coming up this week, a fairly significant birthday. I'm at the point in life where every birthday is a fairly significant birthday. Just having it's pretty significant, far more significant than not having it, I guess. Having a birthday, and so it got me thinking about great quotes, great things that I wanted to. How I want to finish, things I want to hold on to, kind of mantras I want to make a part of my life. I ran across this quote. Martin Luther was asked, what would you do if you knew that this was your last day on earth? If you knew that the world for you would end tomorrow, what would you do? And supposedly Martin Luther responded, I would plant an apple tree. I just have to tell you, that gripped me. That got a hold of me, and I've decided I'm going to finish my days with that. I'm going to hold on to that. That's what I want to do. I want to plant apple trees. Now, there's two things you need to know about that quote. One is it's apocryphal. That means we don't know for sure if Martin Luther said that. In fact, there's a pretty good chance that he did not say it. It certainly sums up the kind of life that people thought he lived, and the scripture verses that were important to him, and the way that he lived. But we don't know for sure that he said it. There's no recording of him. There's no written recording of him saying that. But it has been traditionally attributed to Martin Luther. What would you do if you knew that this was your last day on earth? And it's attributed to him that he said, I would plant an apple tree. That's apocryphal. We don't know for sure that he said that. Here's the second thing, and I've learned that I need to be clear about this. It's metaphorical. It's a metaphor. I don't believe that Martin Luther meant he was going to go to the local co-op and buy a bunch of apple trees and every day for the rest of his life literally dig a hole and plant an apple tree in the ground. I certainly know that when I say that's going to be my mantra for the rest of my life, it's not my intention to be Johnny Appleseed and go around the country and literally plant apple seeds. It's a metaphor. I want to do things. I want to build things. I want to leave things that will live long past me and that will be a benefit, that will have something to a value to the people that I leave behind. That's what I mean when I say I want to build and I want to plant an apple tree. I have had a few people say, I posted this on Facebook, and a few people, are you really going to plant apple trees? No, it's a metaphor. I want to leave a legacy. I want to do things. Now, I have to tell you that my temptation at this point in my life, my temptation is to quit, is to just stop, is to go sit on the side of a creek bank somewhere and just fade away. That's my temptation, but I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. I think what I'm supposed to do is to continue in my own small way, to continue to try to do things that will make a difference in the world long after I am gone. I remember Dan Scott telling a story about an architect working on a church, I think in Cologne, and it took 700 years to build the church. 700 years, and can you imagine the stonemason going in every day, day after day, and laying bricks, laying stone in a church that he knew would not be finished for hundreds of years after he was dead. But he was planting an apple tree. He was leaving something. I want to do that. And as I reach another milestone, as I have another birthday, one of the things that I want to leave things behind. The Shema, the Hebrew prayer that's found in Deuteronomy chapter 6. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. And then the writer follows it with these words. These commandments I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the doorframes of your houses and on your gates. That's leaving a legacy. That's planting an apple tree. That's putting some things in place that will be around long after I'm gone. And so that's my desire. And quite honestly, I'm saying this publicly to get some accountability, because I don't want to stop. I don't want to quit. It's going to look different in the days ahead. One thing I'm learning, I'm not going to have the platform I had in the past, and that's fine. It's not about that. It's not about platform. It's not about reputation. It's not about notoriety. It's about leaving something that will be of value. My children's children will walk along and pull apples from that tree and eat them and say, my grandfather planted this tree. So 5 things I jotted down, 5 apple seeds. Here's what I have here to work with. As I was thinking about it, what do you have? Here's what I have. I have my story. The greatest apple seed I have is my own story, to tell my children, my children's children, the people around me, this is, once we were on that side of the river and now we're on this side of the river. This is what God has done in our life. We have our story. The second thing, which is a part of that, I have my failures and I have my successes. And I can use those to plant apple trees. I can use those to say to people, man, here's how I failed. Here's how I've blown it. Don't do it this way. Here's what's worked for me. Do it this way. Those are apple seeds. My failures and successes are apple seeds. I have my age. Rather than saying I'm old and decrepit and nobody needs to listen to me or wants to listen to me, I've been around for a while. I've seen some things. I can use that as an apple seed to plant. I have my culture. Listen, everybody doesn't have to do it my way. Everybody doesn't have to live. But these are the things that have been of value to me. This is the culture that I have raised my apple trees in, and I can use those as a seed. And finally this, I have my faith. The faith of a 72-year-old is different from the faith of a 17-year-old. Both just as important, both as valuable, but there's something that a 72-year-old can say to a 17-year-old. Listen, I have seen God work. Once I was young and now I'm old, but I've never seen the hungry begging for bread. God takes care of his people. I can say that. My faith after all these years. So I plan to use those things and in the days ahead to plant apple trees. Not literally. Don't take that literally. It's a metaphor. But I encourage you to maybe to follow along as we, over the next few weeks especially, as we look at some apple trees that we can plant. Well, have a great day. God bless you. I'll post something each day about legacy and apple trees. Thank you for being a part of Monday Matters in my life. God bless you. Have a great day.